Hello and good evening to Madam Hazima and fellow friends. My name is Teh Kai Ying and my matrix number is 202168.
Good morning, good evening to Madam and my fellow friends. My name is Liew Sheng and my matrix number is 204187.
Good evening to Madam and my friends. My name is Chen and my matrix number is 204186.
Today, our group are going to talk about the causes of food waste in Malaysia. So, let's start our presentation. What does the phrase of food waste mean to you? Leftover food after having a meal or scraps after cooking? For me, the first thought is I remembered I had to throw away the cherry tomatoes in my fridge because they were old and nobody had eaten them. So here, let me give a quick and brief introduction of food waste. What is food waste? Food waste refers to the decrease in the quantity or quality of food, resulting from decisions and actions by retailers, food service providers, and consumers. Foods are wasted in many ways. For example, foods that are close to or beyond the best before date are discarded. Wholesome edible food are often unused or leftover, which usually from the supermarket or wet market. Fresh produce that deviates from what is considered optimal. For example, in terms of shape, size, and color, is often removed from the supply chain during sorting operations. So, do you know the amount of food waste that we produce in Malaysia? According to Solid Waste Management and Public Cleansing Corporation, Malaysians throw away 16,688 tons of food per day. The study shows the waste are enough to feed around 2.2 million people 3 times a day. And by 2020, the food waste in Malaysia could build up 16 of KLCC tower. So now, let's get started to talking about the causes of food waste in Malaysia. The first cause is consumer behavior. Different customers have different preferences, which is their purchasing behavior on food items. They have keen insight of good judgment, means they prefer the good condition of vegetables and fruits. Besides that, they also concerned on the shelf life of the food products such as canned food, which can be stored longer. Moreover, some customers tend to follow the food trends such as boba tea. They would like to have a try of the drink, but when the drink is tasted badly, they will throw it away. As a result, fruits, which are not preferred by consumers, they will turn into food waste. Furthermore, consumers have least knowledge on how to manage food in their household. For instance, they store vegetables incorrectly by not wrapping them into a newspaper, and they keep the leftovers for too long, as they keep cooking the fresh fruits for their meal. Therefore, this leads to the food spoil quickly and cannot be eaten and result in food waste. Now, I would like to pass the next point to my group mate, Sheng. Thank you.
Alright, for the second point of causes of food waste is over preparation of food. As we all know, large functions or events such as conferences, workshops, and marketing events. For example, some companies will conduct an event when they are planning to launch a new product. They will invite a lot of guests to join the new launching events, but technically the number of customers or guests that turned out was significantly lower than the number that the food was prepared, due to the reason that the organizer afraid that the food supplied were not enough, but always ended up with more food than enough. Perhaps the leftover foods will distribute for the staff or helpers after the event, but somehow it still causes food waste. Next, the buffet style service in restaurant, hotel, etc. The preparation waste primarily consisted of unavoidable waste because they would never provide insufficient food. Customers always expect fresh and pre-prepared food on the buffet trays so they can take and eat on the spot. Hence, the owner should always prepare excess food and indirectly produce food waste all the time. And the other situation on behave on customers who take more food than they can actually finish. It produces food waste as well, right? And the third point of causes of food waste is lack of planning. For the shoppers who easily attracted by promotions and offers with lack of appropriate planning during shopping and bought a lot of products that they are not going to use just because it is cheap. After buying and storing all those stuff at home until they get expired, it ended up with food waste because the expired foods are unable to consume anymore. Furthermore, the other points of lack of planning, which means people order too much food when eating without thinking. People who are starving always lack of planning on the portion of meals. They order large portion or large amount of food to solve their starvings. They think they are able to finish all those food, but ended up wasting the food that they unable to finish, and they didn't plan to take away the leftover foods. So I will pass to Chiming to carry on the next point.
So let's move on to the last point. What are the areas in industrial processing that cause food waste in Malaysia? Lack of training and standardization among staff and managerial practices are being cited as integral part to this issue. Similarly, this reflects lacking of knowledge and low levels of training towards sustainable food waste management by the industrial sector. In order to solve this problem, the remain inedible food can be further converted into compost using a food composter. This is because the compost is rich in nutrients and promotes plant growth. In addition, the areas during industrial processing of food which do not meet the set standards are wasted. For example, food of size, appearance, taste and shape that is not accurate and does not meet the targets will be thrown away as rubbish. Consequently, food waste is recognized as a huge problem in Malaysia and is particularly severe in developed countries. According to a study conducted by the National Solid Waste Management Department in 2012, food waste is among the highest waste generated in Malaysia, approximately about 31% to 45% of the total volume waste generated every day. In conclusion, food waste is a prominent concern in Malaysia. All these amounts of food thrown away is wasting the natural resources of this world and a lot of space is needed for land filling. Hence, by changing the behaviors of consumers, not over preparation of food, well planning, and preventing errors in industrial processing, I believe that we can reduce this problem to a non-threatening level. In the words of the chef Thomas Keller, respect for food is a respect for life, for who we are and what we do. Unsurprisingly, Keller is an advocate against food waste. Therefore, food is a precious resource. We must treat it that way. Well, that's it from our group presentation. Thank you very much.